A call for all to vote. Harens Tshirt. Sutherin sneers. UVindu's retort. Yet another lie by Sutherin. An Lboard parliament. Who will break records this time? Dilith tries to set JVP against harini. Sagi reveals why talks failed. All eyes on a top seat.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
A call for all to vote. A matter of 2 days remain for the decisive day for the election of 225 MPs who decide the country's course in the next 5 years. It takes place in the backdrop of an economic crisis and a presidential poll. We are a country ranked 56th in the Global Hunger Index and 128th in the Happiness Index. The country has 17 million voters, the highest of them in Gampaha, followed by Colombo and Kurunegala. How to cast the vote? A voter can vote for the party or the independent group of personal choice. Then, preferential votes can be marked for 3 candidates. The call is for all to exercise their franchise on the 14th. Campaigning ends. Campaigning ended at midnight on the 11th and the silent period is now on. No campaign activities are allowed until the final result is released, says the Election Commission. That is applicable for social media too. Guidelines have been given as well. As a responsible media outlet, we adhere to those guidelines. But that does not prevent us from reporting the incidents that had happened. All the parties and their candidates campaigned hard on the final day, although the entire campaign lacked enthusiasm. In Badula town, Harin was accused of violating election laws. Social media carried a video of him removing his T-shirt. Around 200 supporters were with him. Police and election officials noted their clothing to be against the law. Also, the group comprised much more persons than the permissible maximum of 5. They were told to stop their activity, but they had heated exchanges with the police over it. Harens Tshirt. Harin arrived wearing a T-shirt similar to the Argentine football team. It had Lionel Messi's number, 10, printed on it. When challenged, Harin removed his T-shirt and threw it at the police. Speaking to the media, he accused the police of allowing Compass campaigners a free hand. Some say Harin collected enough votes to take him to the Diawana. Sutherin sneers. There have been posts on social media that the NPP is seeking support of northeast politicians to form a government, but Sutherin ridiculed President AKD's rally in Jaffna. Taking to X, the Tamil politician said it was a waste for them to have transported people to Jaffna. They could have saved transport costs had they gone to their provinces and addressed them, he said, which means AKD had thousands transported by buses from other parts of the country to Jaffna for the rally. For their benefit, a Tamil translation of his speech was given, says Sutherin. 2 days earlier, AKD attended a packed rally at Vavuniya municipal grounds. In the south, parties collect people, give them food and cash and transport them to political rallies. AKD did that in the north, claimed Sutherin. UVindu's retort. UVindu took Sutherin on over his claims and said on Facebook, Mathia Paranan Abraham Sutherin, what a shame, men. 200% lie. You must protect your credibility, men. Both Dilith and Gamanpila say Sutherin is going to be offered the foreign ministry by a regime which reopened the Palali Road and promised federalism. Yet another lie by Sutherin. About Sutherin's reference to the Tamil translation of AKD's speech, UVindu says, Mathia Paranan Abraham Sutherin, don't salunga poibro, be a man and protect your credibility. Big demand for the ex-Bigshot, Irida Deshaya had the following in its gossip column last week. The former Bigshot who rejected positions and gave up on contesting elections is back in active politics. He was busy campaigning on behalf of Gas Cylinder. So the ex-SLPers now with him insist he makes a comeback. That is because they are without a leader. They intend to see that he is in through the national list. Although no names are mentioned, the insinuations are very clear. An Lboard parliament. That one ended the campaign with a meeting where he was flanked by 2 Lboards. Speaking at the Maradana rally on the 11th, Ranil urged AKD to present his economic policy to the people. Whom did he look for? Before starting his speech, Ranil looked for someone. When Shanuka from his media unit inquired, he said he wanted Keshal to stand behind him. Keshal, a close one of Mangala, who was in the PMD as a director who refused remunerations, contests from Colombo. He is the one who attacked the government by saying that its intended cleansing of Parliament will lead to an end to parliamentary democracy. So Keshal stood behind him, holding an Lboard. Referring to that, Ranil said in his speech the incumbent one is an Lboard government without experience whatsoever. He wants the people to send persons like Keshal to Parliament so that they can show the government its proper direction. Who will break records this time? CBK, Ranil and Mahinda are the ones who hold records for the highest votes polled at elections. Critics say Harini, Vijitha and Lalkantha will set new records this time. Anyway, PM Harini is the opposition's main target because she is second only to AKD in popularity. So Ranil and Harini got involved in a verbal clash. Dilith tries to set JVP against Harini. Also into the fight was Dilith. He tried to create trouble for Harini within the JVP. He suggested to AKD to appoint Samamali Gunasinghe, Bimal's wife, as the PM. Harini is not a recipient of the country's free education, he noted at a rally in Maharagama on the 11th. A day earlier, he addressed a rally in Kadawatha where he urged AKD to appoint a commission to inquire into the killings of JVP founder Wijewera and other cadres. Dilith reminded him that he should have the same concern for them as shown by him for Thajuddin, Lasantha and Ekneligoda. Comments opposed to him say his attempts to create divisions in the NPP won't work. Sajith reveals why talks failed. Sajith has revealed what failed the unity talks between the SJB and the UNP. Participating in Ada Dharana's 360 political talk show, he said his party cannot join them after having rejected lumpen capitalism and crony capitalism. He refused to accept a possibility of defeating AKD had the two parties contested together. Both the SJB and the NPP campaigned for the ouster of the Ranil Rajapaksa gang. Personally, I couldn't become the president, but we gained victory for the country and the people by defeating the Ranil Rajapaksa camp, he explained. Guests for Ruwan. UNP Deputy Leader Ruwan still does his level best to unite with the SJB. He met some bigshots from that party recently for talks. They suggested he took over party reins, which even Sajith wants to happen. So their unity talks are set to resume after the election. All eyes on a top seat. Behind-the-scenes plotting is on for a top seat that falls vacant very soon. A handful of legal luminaries are nominated for the position, including one lady. A campaign is underway on behalf of each of them. According to sources at the top place, a decision is due after the election. That's it for today.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළ ගැස්ම